to share ideas and to draw out some of the stories of the incredible people worldwide who are doing great work in the cycling realm. Over the years as a film festival, we've gotten to know a community of filmmakers, folks from all over the world who are making bike-related films. And now that Film by Bike goes on tour, we have also met some incredible movers and shakers who are bringing Film by Bike to their cities as a way to galvanize the bike community, to get more people on bikes and to give back to the community and thank the community for being cyclists. So it's been a really neat journey for us, and I wanted to pop in today to tell you a little bit more about what we have planned for the Global Bike Fest coming up this Saturday. You'll see the little, I can never point very well, the little sign there, but also to tell you a little bit about who we are as a film festival, as a global bike movement. So Film by Bike was started back in 2003, and that was a really formative time here in the Portland bike culture. It was just so interesting to see the way that people wanted to gather and be together, share space, hold space, do things together with people who understood their passion for bikes. Now, this was a time when if you rode your bike to work, you might be the only one in your office who showed up on a bike. And for a lot of you tuning in, that might be like that where you live. Now Portland is such a bike-friendly city that it's so common to ride your bike to work. But in 2003, it was less common. It was the kind of situation where you could ride on the streets and there was a good chance you might know the person who was also riding on the streets when you passed someone. So we'd wave and we'd say hi, and we were really galvanizing a community of people who enjoyed riding by choice. And we wanted to spend time together doing whatever. It kind of didn't matter. We just really enjoyed being in a space with someone who understood our passion for bikes. So we had Critical Mass at the time, a global bike movement that's been going on since the 90s, where people gather and ride bikes once a month to showcase the power of cycling and that cyclists deserve a right to the road. We also had a bike advocacy organization that still exists to this day. They are now called the Street Trust. And they were busy lobbying in our capital for the rights of cyclists, making streets safer, working with the city of Portland, and really advocating for the rights of cyclists. Critical Mass was fun. It was exciting. It was this monthly gathering. It really was networking for cyclists. But as far as being an effective tool to get the broader community on board with the concept of cycling, we didn't really do a great job of that because people were on their way home from work on a Friday evening when Critical Mass gathered. And really, they just wanted to get home after a long day at work. And here were a bunch of cyclists in the road, kind of holding them up a little bit. You can't fault them for not being excited to see us. And our goal to get people excited about bikes and our method for doing so definitely did not match up. But the opportunity for cyclists to meet each other, to network, to connect, and to make magic happen was certainly happening. So all in all, Critical Mass Portland was wildly amazing, very successful, really a lot of incredible things that still exist to this day in Portland in the cycling realm are all a result of those early days of Critical Mass in Portland. And big ups to all the folks who got Critical Mass Portland started. I joined in around 2000, and by then it was just this really robust movement and really exciting. So Film by Bike grew out of that. We had this desire to do more, and we were fundraising for another event and decided to show some bicycle-related movies. Now here we are, 18 years later, we're still showing bicycle movies. A lot has changed since then. Our process has changed. The type of movies we've shown has changed. We've grown and evolved and matured a lot. And it's really exciting to see that now we have technology at our fingertips and we can be doing even more to connect with our global audience. We have the opportunity here with these Facebook Lives or these YouTube Lives that you can be chatting with us along the way. Feel free to share your comments and reactions as you're watching these videos. We are going to be running a whole series of these. So we've got a lineup really interesting folks that we've been wanting to talk to for quite a while. Coming up later today, we're going to be talking to Fred Zelt. He is the founder of the Social Distance Cycling Group. It's this wildly crazy Facebook group that started just a couple weeks ago and has already blossomed into far over 1,000 members. And it's people who want to connect at this time. Right now, as we're recording this, we are in the time of the coronavirus. So the Social Distance Cycling Group has been an opportunity for people to connect and share their rides and kind of commiserate about what they're going through right now. We're also going to be interviewing Maria Boosted from Pocampo Bags. Very excited to talk with her. She's been on the scene for quite a while. Very resilient, very hardworking person, making an incredible bicycle bag company happen. Early on in her career, she would walk into stores and shops and talk to folks about what she was creating, these gorgeous, attractive, functional, reliable bicycle bags. And people would look at her and say, "You're never going to make it." Well, here she is all these years later, and she's doing such great work and incredible designs and just really thoughtfully, smartly designed bicycle bags. So I'm excited to talk to Maria and hear more about the journey that led her to this point. We're going to be talking with Vicki Armstrong out of Ithaca, New York. She runs Bike Walk Tompkins. They are the longest running film by bike event outside of Portland. I'm so excited to talk to Vicki about what's happening in Ithaca. I got to go to Ithaca back in January and get to know their bike community a little bit. And man, they have some cool stuff going on there. And Vicki is really the mastermind and the energy behind a lot of what's happening there. We thought it'd be fun to check in with a local cyclist who is somebody who is out there at all the events, and now the events aren't happening. So we'll be talking to Armando Luna. He is just a great ball of energy and vibrancy that shows up at cycling events here in Portland and shares what he loves about cycling. He's always got these great belly laughs, and it's just a real joy to see him at a cycling event. But right now, we're not at cycling events. We're not out doing our Thursday night rides and all the other regular activities that happen. So what is that like for somebody who is used to spending multiple days a week out at other events and functions and connecting with the community to be stuck at home? So we'll be talking with Armando about that. We're lining up some other guests as well. We'll be talking to Jason Hall from Slow Roll out of Detroit. Super excited to talk to Jason. He has been hosting Film by Bike in Detroit, and he's just a stalwart on the bike scene there. We'll be getting some insight into what's up in Detroit and what the bike scene is like there. I'm also really excited that we'll be talking to Courtney Williams from Brown Bike Girl out of New York City. We will be talking with her about her advocacy efforts and the work that she does to create spaces of inclusion in the outdoor sphere, especially within cycling. She also does trainings and workshops to educate groups on how they can address the topic of inclusion in the outdoor sphere, especially in the cycling realm. So talking to Courtney Williams later this week as well. We're packing in a ton of interviews because, well, quite frankly, everyone's at home right now and they have the time. So we've been able to nail down a lot of the top of our list folks. But over time, we will be popping in on this YouTube channel to provide even more content. And we really like the idea of growing this stream and making these lives so that you can connect and share your comments and your reactions along the way. So you can do that just down there in the chat bar and let us know what you think as we grow. If you're not already subscribing, please do subscribe to our channel because that will give you the opportunity to get notified when we have live streams coming up, as well as when we publish new content on the site. And as our subscriber base grows, the functionality of YouTube is such that that will unlock some additional features that we will have access to. So we look forward to seeing all that grow as well. Once again, I'm Aileen Crotty. I am the founder and the director of Film by Bike, and I'm so excited to be connecting with all of you here on YouTube. I'm excited to share some important bike stories and to give you a chance to get to know some of the movers and shakers in in the global cycling movement. And again, we look forward to seeing you all at the Global Bike Fest on April 4th. This is a ticketed event, so make sure you grab your tickets at filmedbybike.org. Proceeds from this event are going to support the working artists who are involved in this project. We've got a live performance by Ben Weaver. He is a bike-loving musician and poet. He is just a beautiful musician, a very talented, such a lovely voice, and his ability to connect with his audience is powerful. And so I'm really excited to hear what Ben has to say and to have a moment where he shares his talents with us. It's going to be a really beautiful segment of the Global Bike Festival for sure. And then also we are going to be moderating a global hangout and chat. This is your opportunity to share what's on your mind, your thoughts and feelings as we go through this challenging time. That's going to be moderated by Manny Marquez. He is a filmmaker based in Hood River, Oregon, who came to cycling after shooting the Tour de France on assignment for work back when he was working for Trek. He was not a cyclist at all, but staring through the lens of his camera at these cyclists as they raced and watching them do their thing for days on end, for hours a day, he really fell in love with the sport and came back to the States and hopped on a bike, and the rest is history. We're so fortunate to have Manny in the Film by Bike community. He's been such a great supporter of the festival over the years. So Manny's going to be moderating that hangout and chat. And then I'm going to be digging into the Film by Bike archives to show you some festival favorites from over the years. Some true delights, some of the world's best bike movies, some award winners from the festival, and all sorts of other great stuff. We've carefully chosen this curated collection to be some of the films that we think will most delight and entertain people in this time of isolation and darkness. It's gonna be great. Pop the popcorn, settle in, gather the family, your housemates, whoever is in your quarantined household, and join us on April 4th. Again, that is the Global Bike Fest with tickets at filmedbybike.org. It all kicks off at 5 o'clock Pacific time and goes until 6:30 Pacific time. So it's about an hour and a half program live here on YouTube. You'll be able to share your comments and thoughts in the live stream. And then also it will be archived for later viewing. So get your tickets at filmedbybike.org. Support working artists with your ticket buying. And we look forward to seeing you all on April 4th. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. And we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.